Welcome, everybody, to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is, in fact, a live YouTube vidcast by Star Wars fans, for Star Wars fans. So let's talk some shit as Star Wars fans today. The most important fucking thing that they've told us in a very long time. Should we start with that, Adam?
HoloNet news?
Yeah, the HoloNet news.
Let's start with the HoloNet news. This is our updates, rumors, and events section of our main show. And I talked completely over. Hold on, let's do this again. I want people to hear your voiceover. I just talked over it. Hold on. There.
HoloNet news.
Yeah, HoloNet news.
Yeah, I totally didn't hear it, so I'll have to listen to this later. Holy fuckballs.
This is stretched. I don't know why it does this.
Well, that's
there,
weird.
It goes back to normal. Okay.
So much Baby Yoda merch. Jesus Christ.
I understand why they couldn't release it or announce it before Mandalorian, first 3 episodes, because clearly they didn't want to ruin anyone's day and spoiler the whole series for them. But I'm so glad this stuff is coming out.
Yeah, this is another one of those characters that I just desperately wanted to hate. But then I was the guy that got the email at 2 a.m. saying, hey, you can pre-order your own 10-inch plush Baby Yoda. And I did.
Did you really?
Fuck yeah, I did. The second I got that email, I don't care. Thing's adorable.
Awesome. Yeah. Now these are super cute. So this is the Funko Pop. And the damn face. I don't know what it is. There's a shot of its foot on one of the shirts. And I lost my mind when I saw a little 3-clawed foot, a little Yoda foot. How's it going, William? Thanks for joining us, man. So yeah, this is, there's not a lot of official news. Star Wars is releasing a whole bunch of different promos and featurettes about The Last Skywalker. But in the meantime, we have the holiday season coming up. They did their holiday gift guide, and this, of course, was announced right after the holiday gift guide was announced. And I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's Baby Yoda.
How can you not buy one? Look at that foot.
Yeah, I don't even wear white. I would buy that shirt.
See, this one's mine. That's my jam right there.
Nice.
I like monochrome, black, white. Oh yeah,
can't go wrong there,
dude.
It's so perfect. It's the best thing they've done with the franchise in years.
What's upsetting is not knowing if it's going to tie in with anything else. Is this just this isolated little bubble of a world? Because the implications of a Baby Yoda are massive, completely massive, and they could influence the entire Skywalker saga if at any point there is any cloning facility set up by Palpatine, because then it directly feeds into Rise of Skywalker. And so it would be very interesting if we see a 70, 80-year-old Baby Yoda in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Oh, wish I had a laptop just so I could have a laptop bag.
Yeah.
Fucking face.
Just carry around my fucking, I don't know, stickers or something in there. That just seems like it'd be perfect.
That's great. I feel like they're missing a Black Series toy or something with that bowl of bone broth. That would be
my god. Great. Yes, I'd buy 3 of them.
That'd be great.
That we could take one to work, have one here, and open the box.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Colored in the foam of their coffee. Wow, a pic of Yoda, Baby Yoda, in the foam of coffee. That would be amazing. And there's your cup that you could put it in.
Well, yeah.
Just a whole bunch of good old merch.
I almost wouldn't even want to drink it. I'd be too scared to drink it.
And that sticker. Oh, the stickers.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for stickers, so I'll probably get them.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. This I don't understand. I'm not a
embroidery machine. I mean, that's pretty.
It just comes with its own stuff, or
yeah,
its own presets.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, it's cool and all, but to be honest, you spend a couple more $100, get a full actual proper embroidery set, and then you just buy the patterns and put it in. But then again, it also doesn't come with a Star Wars sticker on it, so yeah, it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
And of course, you got your sucker for backpacks. or right
So,
here. Like
yeah,
I buy way too fucking many. Like my wife makes fun of me because I have more backpacks and fanny packs than she has purses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awful.
Wow, this is a problem.
It is. For not me.
Yeah, we're clearly bleeding into the holiday gift guide here, but
Yeah, whatever.
it's still great. Where's the Baby Yoda ornament?
I'd almost be too scared to put it up personally if I got one. I got cats, and cats are assholes.
I would totally put it up. I want a Baby Yoda treetop ornament.
Yeah. Oh my god. Could you imagine him glowing in the hover cart? Like that would be perfect for the tree topper. Like that would totally swap out my Jason mask. Like I would no longer use the Jason mask as my tree topper.
We were going to do my Darth Vader helmet this year, but
nice.
we just don't have the space above the tree. It's just too tall.
Just punch a hole in your ceiling.
That's true. This I don't get. It's like a shouting.
Yeah.
Thing. Like you can yell, like hit a button and it does your yell as you swing it. I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. But kids will fucking eat it up, I guess.
Parents will buy it.
Yeah.
These are always great.
Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong with the holiday sweaters.
Okay, do you say holiday sweater? You say Christmas sweater? You say
I say holiday sweater because I get all kinds of different. Like I've seen different kinds of sweaters, like Hanukkah and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, fucking can't say Christmas, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
like, I'm a fucking atheist. I celebrate Christmas. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to have people buy me shit and get drunk with my family. I mean, anybody that doesn't like that is just a fucking curmudgeon.
I want to get a Kwanzaa Vader sweater.
That'd be pretty dope.
I think that would be...
If you find one, I think I need to get a matching one.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Then we could do Kwanzaa pictures together.
Oh, my gosh. That is what is missing from my life.
Yeah.
Fuck, Kwanzaa holiday cards in matching sweaters. Fuck.
Be dope.
Be so great.
Then I just got to find out what Kwanzaa is.
It's not important. And this is what I don't get. This is in the holiday guide, but it's just a magazine.
Yeah, they're really
that.
trying to push the Star Wars Insider. It's like, honestly, Insider has kind of become bleh ever since they switched over. Because, I mean, we used to get all kinds of cool shit. Like, Karen Travis fucking created the Mandalorian, like, speech. She created the characters, the font and everything. Like, there was cool shit that used to be in these. And now it's just like, oh, here's photos of a movie that you don't care about.
I wonder if like with the advent of the internet, I just don't know why it's important to have a Star Wars Insider when you get leaks on websites and inside information from websites. You have shows like Ours, which are clearly better than the magazine.
I mean, they're pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, so I just don't know why. Like, what information are they going to put into this that's not spoilery, that you're not going to be able to get out of the special EW version or the special variety version of the magazine? Or, like, I just don't understand why it would be, I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems kind of pointless. Like, there's some companies that can get away with still doing physical media because, you know, you get exclusive content through that shit. Like, if you look at Fango, like, Fango's fucking amazing, and they're back. Like, proper back. But
and it is really good rather than just other trade podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I dig it. Like I'm on year 2 of my subscription. Like I love it.
Okay.
But this, nah. I mean, or you could buy it for fucking somebody you don't really give a shit about, but you want to get them something Star Warsy.
Yeah. Here's a subscription. Fuck off with your nerdy self.
Oh, don't even get them a subscription. Just the one shot.
Just the one. That'd be great. Williams says Secret Life of Porgs, and I didn't even notice, but at the very bottom of that magazine it says plus discover the Secret Life of Porgs. Is this a porno edition?
I guess I'll fucking get it.
Is this a porno edition? I think this might be a porno edition.
It's educational, Adam. It's educational.
Yeah, that's true. It's like National Geographic. It's Porgs.
Exactly.
Weird.
There's nothing weird about it.
I'm not sure what this is, though.
No, I didn't read up on this one at all. It just kind of...
Okay, well, we'll skip it. I remember we looked at this bust back when it was announced.
Yeah, so it's nice to see him finally painted.
Looks great.
Like, yeah, it's gorgeous. I definitely wouldn't drop the money for it, but yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, no. And then, visual dictionary, I don't know. I mean, until we see these guys in action, the Knights of Ren, I'm not entirely sure I dig them. Like, I don't know. I like
Same here. It's one of those things that's like, man, I really hope they, talk about him in this new movie. And then they start showing him in the new movie, and it's like, yeah, but how much are we going to get?
Yeah, seriously. There's
like,
so much other stuff.
Just lost so much faith in the franchise. Well, the trilogy.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And then you can run.
Yep.
You can lose some pounds in a Star Wars shirt.
Not me, though. That's just too much effort.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just sit here and not.
A bunch of clothes and shoes
and
all sorts
shoes.
of dope shit. I dig it. This is like VR sound. So you can actually pair this with the Star Wars app and relive these scenes throughout Star Wars series and like move around as if it were spatial and, hear the different voices closer, further away, or, oriented around you and stuff. Supposedly it's neat. It sounds really fucking dumb to me. But
yeah, it's like
if there's no visual.
If you smoke weed, I could see it being pretty cool.
Right. Like,
that's about it.
No, you are my father. Ah.
Fucking spoilers.
And then, of course, you can always buy that for someone who doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
And some loafers and other stuff. All right. Legos.
The Legos are dope.
Toys.
Still pretty sad because Amazon had a great Lego discount on Black Friday, and I'm always the asshole that's like, I'm not gonna buy deals because fuck consumerism. And then afterwards, like, man, I could have got Vader's castle for $80. Damn it.
Yeah, I actually don't buy anything on that day, on Black Friday ever, or Cyber Monday, or any of it. Like, I just don't. I choose not to engage, to my own detriment, to be sure.
There's 2 artists that I support. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, and that's it for the HoloNet news. That's it for that section of this show. Lots of cool toys if you're digging Baby Yoda like the entire universe is right now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the guys over across the pond who actually don't see any of these episodes yet, but they have to live with the knowledge of it?
Wait. Disney Plus is only in the U.S.?
Yeah, for like another couple weeks.
What? That's so fucked
like
up. They
England,
fucked themselves.
France, Germany,
yeah,
Italy.
No, it just means that they're all watching it illegally.
That's true. Way to go, Disney.
See, that shit like that is stupid. Like, I don't understand why you can't do like the Netflix motto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you drop a movie, like, even if it's, I mean, of course, there's different licenses in different countries and all that shit. But when it comes to Netflix exclusive shit, all they do is they hit a button. It's everywhere immediately. Yeah. No piracy. Because you don't have to. It's there. You're already basically stealing it anyways. Like, I don't understand why these massive companies can't fucking do that shit, especially with their own shit. It blows my mind.
Especially Disney.
Yeah.
Like, if they can't do it.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
It does make me laugh how he's so much a part of the cultural zeitgeist now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll talk to people that have never seen anything Star Wars that just aren't interested at all. And of course they're wrong, but they know all about Baby Yoda. Never once watched an episode. It's like, cool.
It's broken through, man, more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because it does. I mean, it's overcome so many other like staples like Muppet memes and stuff. Like Baby Yoda's overtaken. William is saying he tried Disney Plus with his VPN and he had to turn it off because it wouldn't let him log in. Because, VPNs bounce all around IP addresses all around the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're outside the U.S. continental, you ain't getting it, which is crazy.
So I just don't understand it personally.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him because they're spoiled. Because when that reveal at the end of the first episode, because you were already on a high. You had IG-11 and The Mandalorian whipping ass. And you're just like so excited. And then they finally bust in that door and they see the little leg. You're like, what the fuck? It's supposed to be a 50-year-old creature. And you're like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. Like, even with that knowledge, I still didn't guess until I saw.
Yeah, there was no way to guess.
I mean, it's just
like in canon history, like the canonical history of Star Wars, we've only had 2 of those creatures ever. why the fuck would we think that there was another one?
It's wild. It's just wild. Yeah. Which leads into implications, which is why I'm so excited about how the last episode of The Mandalorian for this first season is pushed earlier 2 days so that it's before the Rise of Skywalker launch, which tells me maybe there's some tangential something.
There has to be something. Like
I don't know how there couldn't be.
Yeah. Either that or they're like, well, fuck. So this is what everybody really wants. So if we, don't push this sooner, people are just going to stay home and watch that in their underwear instead of going to the movies.
Yeah.
Because, personally, I would. At this point, I'd probably blow off my ticket and just stay home and watch The Mandalorian.
Well, it sucks for me because my wife insists that I watch it with her, which is fine. I love my wife and I love The Mandalorian, so I don't mind watching the two together, except that she... I will watch it while I'm sipping coffee before work, but she won't let me because she's got to go to work before I do. And so I have to
It's her own fucking fault. Tell her to quit her job.
That's
Jesus.
That's actually a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I'll bring it up next time. We'll see how that goes.
Do make sure you do.
Let me know how that turns out. Let's try this second segment here. This is the first time we're doing it. It's HoloNet. Actually, here. I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah, don't say it.
HoloDrama Diatribes.
I like your voice work. So HoloDrama Diatribes is our covering of novels, comics, stories, tales, whatever, what have you. And we... Why is everything stretched? What is going on?
Whatever. It's a stupid fucking cover anyways for a stupid fucking book. So here's my really positive review of this book.
Okay.
Don't buy it. Okay, so that's not fair. All right, so the premise of the book is it takes place right in between, obviously, The Last Jedi, and it's supposed to bridge over into the Rise of Skywalker. So basically, the whole thing is them trying to figure out why none of their homies are, calling them back. Like, they're trying to find help and, find their allies and shit, but nobody's to be found. So essentially, it's them hopping system to system, trying to find out what the fuck is going on. You get the return of Wedge, which is not as cool as I thought it would be, but it was
really?
still. Yeah, dude, it's okay. All right, so to be fair, it's one of those things where it's like this is kind of a book that I almost feel like they're trying to pull some influence from the X-Wing series, but doing it piss poorly. So it's like you get kind of the excitement of it without any of the consequence or really any need for it. It's okay, but yeah. So basically, they're floating around, finding out that hey, all our boys are gone because the First Order's going through, snatching them up and shit. It's like there's this whole conspiracy that they're finding sympathizers and senators, just basically anybody who's ever had any sort of tie-in with the Resistance, aka anybody that's a part of the fucking New Republic, which, whatever, I'm not even going to get into that part of it. Yeah, so they're putting them into work camps and shit. They're not like...
Wait, the First Order is?
The First Order is rounding up everybody they can and forcing them into slave labor, essentially.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it helps the First Order's story make sense, like why they're so fucking powerful, why they're able to pump out as much as they can. It discusses different planets that they've occupied, which, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know, I almost feel like it's a lazy way to explain why they're powerful. Because with everything else that we've always read, like there's a timeline, like there's a chronology to how a system or a planet gets taken over, why it gets taken over. And this, it's just like, yeah, they took over. That's it. ...
Oh, man. So do you think this was really just like a wrap up to kind of set people up for the new film and try to answer some of the complaints about the previous ones?
I really don't think, like most people don't like the Aftermath novels. It's a fucking crying shame.
Those are great.
I mean, we know that, of course, they really don't use any of it. There is a nice tie-in with the Aftermath trilogy in this novel. Like we get Nora Wexley back.
Oh, really?
And her and Ledger together. So I mean, that's cool. But it's just basically the one positive is all the new characters that we're introduced to. As long as basically all the stories that stay away from the core cast of what's actually going to be in the movies and what has been in the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all just boring, repetitious shit. Like, basically, if you cringe every time in the movies they talk about the spark that's going to light the fire, that's going to blah, blah, blah. Skip through the chapters that are about the core characters, because that's really all it is. Like, they really hammer home the fact we don't need soldiers. We need leaders. It's like, but if you teach the soldiers to lead, you have leaders. But that's a whole other discussion right there. So fuck that shit. The B story with all the new characters, that's honestly what's worth the read. I mean, it is kind of a long read. It's just under 400 pages, 368 to be exact. And it ends really with no... Like, it doesn't add anything to it.
Does it set you up for what's going to happen at the first scene of the next movie?
I don't know, and I don't think so. It's really all it is just... so they end up meeting up with the Ryloth people, like the Twi'leks, that they're not really the... oh my god, sorry, I should probably have this pulled up. So anyways, whatever the fucking resistance fighters were back during the Clone Wars and
the Ryloth resistance?
Yeah, the Ryloth resistance people. So basically they stay as an independent organization to essentially police Ryloth to make sure that shit doesn't ever happen again. So they meet up with them. That's kind of how they find out about the people being held captive. And it lets us know why they don't have any friends that were helping them in the last movie. But
yeah,
it's like they could also probably explain that within the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
10
a little
minutes.
bit of exposition. And
so it's, if you got nothing better to do, read it.
You're really not selling it.
Yeah, it's... I wanted to like it. I really did, especially because they were bringing Wedge back. And, I mean, he's one of the best fucking pilots out there. So... you expect it to be just some awesome shit, but of course he's an old man. He's a farmer. Yeah.
All right.
It's basically what we've been getting from the Star Wars novels / comics, with a few exceptions since Disney took over.
That's unfortunate. Every time I see those Journey to and then the next film title, I'm always expecting them to have some integral background information that's going to feed into the film and enrich the film. And so far, it's never happened that way. It's always like just random thoughts and experiences and adventures. You're just like, what the fuck did that have to do with anything? Why was that a Journey to? Why didn't you just release it as its own novel? I don't understand why you have to... Because the act of them saying Journey to X leads you to believe that it's really important, but it's actually not at all. It's a marketing trick to make you buy the damn thing, and it's a fucking waste. Right.
Yeah, it really is a shame, because honestly, if they had just got rid of the whole, resistance trying to find their homies thing, or at least only had that as like the catalyst of the beginning of the book, and then just went with the the new characters as a whole, like their interactions honestly are worth buying the book. Like they're a bunch of fucking badasses, because you get a bunch of different squadrons that survived essentially the resistance obliteration, because they were all off on different systems doing different missions and stuff. So I mean, they're back and forth, their battles. Like, that shit's great. That could have been a book. It should have been a book by itself. Like, I would have gave that shit 3.5 banana stickers if it was just them. But because it's not, and because the whole stressing, we need leaders, otherwise we're pointless, I'll give it about 1/4 banana sticker.
Oh, wow. Just 1/4 banana sticker?
1/4 banana sticker.
I'll wait for the library to have it, and then I'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can borrow it, borrow it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for our HoloDrama Diatribe section. Let's move into, probably the most exciting part for us, though we're going to wait for the Mandalorian, and we're going to start with Resistance in
HoloReel reviews.
that throat that sound.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good scene.
It really is. Why is everything stretching? This is actually starting to bother me. For those of you who are listening to this, yes, there is an audio podcast version of this. For whatever reason, I don't understand why.
But then you don't get us and our pretty faces and these stretched out pictures. So yeah, this one is Resistance Season 2, Episode 9, The Voxx Vortex 5000. This is...
do you want to do the synopsis, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I got this.
Okay.
So, basically, I mean, we know the Colossus, they don't got shit for money, they don't got shit for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're going around trying to figure out how to get stuff. And then, oh god, what's his name? Hype Pharaon's like, hey!
Hype Phazon.
Phazon. Why did I say
He's
Pharaon?
the most annoying person ever.
He is fucking annoying. So he's like, hey, man, I used to race for this hut out in this planet that, we're almost by. Or not planet, but he's got a casino.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, let's go there. We could probably race for him and make some money because, I mean, they're already, rebels and outlaws and shit. Why not get into the underworld of hut races? Because that just seems like a great idea. So, yeah, they
Make
go
a quick
there.
buck.
Hype's like, hey, man, so let me race for you. And, oh, shit, where is his name? Rannick the Hutt, right? I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. It's been a while since I've watched this episode, so bear with me, people.
Frankie?
Yeah, whatever.
Like, it's supposed to be like Frankie, because he's like this Italian knockoff. Like, he talks like that, even.
That sounds right. Anyways, so he decides to race for him. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll totally give you guys some money if you win. If not, you got to stay and race for me forever, because that's fair. And everybody's like, oh, well, you're a Hut. We can trust you. Well, you can't trust the Hut. He rigs the race because he's got a bunch of droid racers. And he continues to pluck up, every single ace pretty much from the Colossus, doing the same shit because everybody's like, oh, well, they fucking suck. I can do it. Yeah. And then Niku, surprisingly, is the one that saves them because he realizes, oh, hey, so these droids are doing the same thing that this fucking casino's doing. Like, this little spinning machine? Yeah, I'm watching you get your ass kicked right here.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible. So there's an algorithm that the droid pilots that are beating all of the aces in these races follows that is similar, if not directly identical, to the algorithms of the actual casino games. And that's where the most annoying character of all discovers this similarity, and then they, of course, tell all the aces, hey, we can beat it with our help of Niku, the useless, because he's been useless in everything before now, so why wouldn't we trust him with our lives? And then one by one, as you said, they all become prisoners to this hut because he's been tricked, and the droids not only attack their ships, but straight up open fire on them. In some cases, the hut actually has asteroid cannons unleash upon the aces themselves, and totally cheating, and they continue to go along with this. Like, I don't know why they just don't walk out and fight their way out, but they tried to at one point. There's two gigantic Kowakian monkey apes or Kowakian ape creatures as like bouncers. It's the most like tongue-in-cheek version of a fucking mafia casino situation I've ever seen in my life. And then ultimately, of course, Kaz wins at the very last second, and they get their 50,000 credits plus all of the aces back. And because the Hut has been such a good sport as of yet, lets them go with everything.
Yeah.
He's been cheating him the whole time. Why would he just, oh, you beat me fair and square?
Well, and especially because at the beginning of the episode, he's talking about how, oh yeah, with all this shit going on, business sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a completely empty casino except for the wait staff, which, like, all the staff are Kawaki and monkey lizards, which I liked.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking hilarious. And, I mean, that's exactly why they did it, was to appease to the children.
Yeah.
Like me. But...
there was no reason to have this episode. This was pure filler. It had no bearing on a greater story. It was just, hey, let's figure out a way to get 50,000 credits, as if that specific number is going to be in the next episode or something.
Yeah, and we'll never see it again.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. And then they go to this hut. Why anyone ever trusts a hut is beyond me. But for some reason, the Hype likes getting hugged by him, and so, like, he trusts him. Like, he worked for him before. Certainly, he screwed some people over before.
Yeah, no
He's
shit.
a hut. Why would you think that he wouldn't screw you over this time? And then all of the silliness ensues. And then my favorite damned episode of this entire series is completely, in my personal opinion, ripped out of my grasp, because the threat of that episode are two hokey bouncers like they come out of a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And they're just like, broof, broof, standing there. And then when the hut tells them they can leave, they kind of look at each other like, oh, well, I don't get up, smash head. And they walk away. And that was it. And the best part were the Quacky Monkey Lizards like jumping and fucking up Niku. That was the best part of the entire show. But there was no reason to have this episode. They have a finite amount of episodes to tell this story. Why are they fucking around?
Yeah, that's what I don't get either, because, I mean, we're on episode 9. There's 10 more episodes left. This has to tie in with The Rise of Skywalker. It has to.
There's just no way.
Like, no way. I just don't get it, unless, like, the tie-in is going to be like how the Ghost was in Rogue One.
Right.
Like, I have a feeling it's going to be something like that. Like, when you get all those, Republic ships coming in, you're going to see the Colossus behind there, refueling something.
And that's it.
And that's going to be the tie-in. And then all of this, almost, over 40 episodes, just wasted time.
Meant nothing. Just wasted our money, our time, and you guys watching it. Thanks, Disney. Thank you.
Fucking Disney.
Fuckers. All right, let's move on to...
It still wasn't the worst episode this season, so there's
What
that.
do you think is the worst one?
Well, shit, I honestly don't know. The first, 5 were pretty awful.
Yeah.
Like, until we got to the Jurassic Park episode, fuck, we talked about it. We were ready to stop altogether.
We should do, top 3 worst Resistance episodes. And just talk about why they were so horrible. I don't know. Is that just a waste of time, too? That's just filler content?
Whatever.
When we could be talking about The Mandalorian.
Yeah, fucking Mandalorian. Chapter 5, The Gunslinger.
I have to say, before we even say anything, I loved this episode. I thought it was better than the last one, and the locations and the characters that we saw, the whole time I was just grabbing my wife's knee like, oh my gosh! Oh my God! It was so great. It was pure fan service, and I loved every second of it.
Oh, absolutely.
All right,
especially with the cameos. Oh my God.
Do you want to walk through this?
Yeah, so, starts off amazingly. There is a fucking dogfight. Like the, oh shit, I can't remember what his ship is. The Razor Claw, right?
Yeah.
Razor Claw. So, you just see him flying through space, and there's Bounty Hunter on his trail. Just straight up shooting his ass up. And, he's doing his best to get around, jerking to and fro, getting shot in the thrusters. Ends up taking him out, because, he's fucking Mandalorian. Why wouldn't he? But, because of that, he has to, land on the next planet that he can get to.
So, hold on. I want to stop you really quick, because there's a great line. The bounty hunter chasing him said the Mandalorian's line, I can bring you in hot or I can bring you in cold. And that's when the Mandalorian hit the vent shafts or something and slowed down almost to a full stop. So the other guy overshot him, and he's like, "That's my line," and then he blew him up.
That was that was fucking perfect.
Sorry, go ahead.
That is probably one of the best parts of this show. Story and characters and everything aside, the fucking one-liners.
Yeah.
They're so perfect.
Great.
So perfect.
Great.
Yeah, so the place he has to land is Tatooine.
Tatooine!
Wouldn't we know it, he lands in Mos Eisley Space
Fucking Mos
to
Eisley.
get his shit fixed by strangers with candy.
So the girl who runs the shipping station or the docking station or whatever the fuck it's called, her name is Pelimato, but she seriously reminded me of Alien, like what's her name?
Weaver?
An older version, sort of like scavenger version of Sigourney Weaver's character. Like if she
I guess I could see it.
lived through all of that stuff. I felt like they were doing like a tongue-in-cheek play of it because it was, look at her. Like it's like a cartoony character of her, like version of her character. Anyway.
Did you ever watch Strangers with Candy, Adam?
No.
Okay, so if you would ever watch that, like that's Amy Sedaris. I think that's how you
Oh,
pronounce
Amy
her.
Sedaris.
Amy Sedaris, there we go. And it's funny as shit because the whole time I'm watching this episode, mind you, I'm jet lagged. It's the middle of the fucking night. I'm watching. I'm just dying laughing. Like, oh my god, this person's great. And then my wife texted me afterwards because she was watching it when I was watching it, and she's like, "Holy shit, that was her." And then I'm like, "Oh my god, that's just her minus makeup with a fro."
Oh wow. Okay.
Fucking awesome.
Well, it was great. I love the character.
Yes. Amazing character. Probably someone we'll get back. I at least I hope we get her back.
I don't know. So do you want to?
Okay, so yeah, sorry. Anyways, since his ship's all fuckered up and he's trying to get shit fixed, he's like, yeah, I'll go look for a job. So he hits up, the cantina.
Fucking Mos Eisley Cantina.
Mos Eisley Cantina.
You will not find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
And there's no scum and villainy, and it's nothing but droids.
This is new management. And I can't remember, was there a reference to this in the Aftermath novels? Like, I know there was reference to the guy, why he hated droids, the previous owner, in that from a certain point of view collection of stories. Mm-hmm. But I can't remember if Aftermath novels ever explained that he left or anything.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. It's been a minute since I've read those.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was such a wonderful. And then we meet this gunslinger, Toro Calican, who is trying his hardest to be a Han Solo type.
Way too fucking hard.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so good. And that's of course we are introduced to him because the Mandalorian walks into the bar and he starts hitting up the bartender like, "Hey, I need a job." And he's like, "Hey, we don't have jobs." And then, of course, that's when, Bounty Hunter Guild wannabe is like, "Hey, so you want a job? I'm yelling across the room about a secret job."
Here's my puck.
Super sly as shit. I'll give him this. He's a fucking smart guy because he's all talking about, having the Mandalorian come. He'll give him all the credits and shit. He just wants him to the guild. Like, that's the whole reason he's here. And the bounty hunter or the Mandalorian's like, "Okay, well, give me the puck and we'll go." And motherfucker decides to smash it. He's like, "That's cool. I know where it is." Just that way he can't get rid of him.
Yep.
And then, of course, the hunt ensues. They're going after an assassin. And on the way, the Mandalorian's explaining to him, why nobody's picked up this bounty. And, oh, shit.
Fennec Shand is the assassin that they're going after. And she is a super badass.
Yes.
What I really love that they didn't even have to do, but there's this great little moment where they're going past the Sand People territory, and the Mandalorian stops, and they have this really quick exchange where he's like, some people would think that, we humans are the interlopers into the Sand People's territory, because there was some offhanded comment of Toro saying, "Oh, what the hell are they out here?" I just thought that was really great. The Mandalorian respects indigenous people's boundaries, and he goes out of his way to barter with them in order to pass through their land unmolested. I just thought that there's no reason they had to do that, but it's great that they did.
Yeah, well, this is also the first time we ever see proper communication between some sort of human species and the Tusken Raiders. Like, that shit was impressive. Like, I was smacking my buddy's knee like an idiot, like fucking all kinds of excited, like, "Oh my god, they're speaking sign language." Yeah, so that was pretty dope. And it's the first time we see sign language in the Star Wars anything.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true.
it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Excuse me. It's lovely air. I'm back in. Feeling me good.
Welcome to smog.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mean that was cool. And then after they pass through them, they get their safe passage because he gives them some brand new binoculars. Which I mean that's what you do. And the kids all throwing a fit over it, but fuck it, you're gonna be in the guild soon enough.
Yep.
So as soon as they pass that, they come across a random dewback that's just sort of walking around slowly, and they approach it cautiously because they think, oh well, maybe this is a setup because there's just somebody laying down. So of course they're thinking that's the mark. Turns out it's not the mark, but it is bait, and Fennec starts shooting at him with her high-powered sniper rifle. And it was dope as hell to see that because straight up blasts the Mandalorian back, like shoots him back. So awesome.
Yeah, I really love seeing that. Another part I thought was a really great throwaway line was when he's like, yeah, she shot me right in the Beskar. And he's like, I don't have any Beskar. He's like, no, you don't. He's like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because the bounty hunter's like, okay, maybe that's why you guys wear that armor. Huh, I never considered that. But I do like that they wait until midnight, and then in order to overtake Fennec, they use like flares essentially as they're racing toward her to blind her scope and her sight, and hopefully that'll give them a little bit of an opportunity. And it works up until the end point where she knocks the Mandalorian off his speeder bike, but Toro gets up there and like creeps around her, and she fucks him up.
Yeah.
It's the great, like, I don't know who that actress is, but I heard she's like this famous martial artist.
She is.
At least in films or something. I just thought like it was really great seeing someone who is supposed to be threatening actually perform, and the fact that it's a female, and which kind of goes against a lot of the conventions of, oh, we're going to go find an assassin. Well, it's probably a guy. Like we just assume it's going to be a guy, but no, it's a girl in this case.
Not necessarily, because that's nothing new in the Star Wars universe.
Right. I guess my point was that the common convention would be that it would be a guy, and so I like that it's a girl, but it's also an incredibly talented actress who gets an opportunity to showcase what she's actually really good at, martial arts in this particular case. It just kind of fucks him up a little bit until the Mandalorian steps up. He's like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah. Well, and I just love how he does it too. Like, good, are you done with her? You got her?
It was just so great. And then,
which,
of course,
honestly, that made me believe like maybe he intentionally got popped.
Oh,
because
really?
I mean that was the perfect catalyst to sneak up behind her and get her.
I don't think so, only because that meant he had to go find the dewback to get a ride. And that made me think like, okay, well, I don't think he would have given up his like infinitely faster ride across the dunes of Tatooine if it meant, just getting a drop on her after the kid got his ass kicked. But
that's true.
Either way, he leaves the kid, which I would never have done, with Fennec, and goes to get the dewback so that they can all have some sort of transportation back to Mos Eisley. And while Toro and Fennec are talking, Fennec tells Toro that, hey, that Mandalorian went against the very bounty guild that you're trying to get in with. And he's got a bounty on him that's much greater than my bounty. So why don't you let me go, and together we'll get him and whatever the package, or they don't refer to it as a child, do they?
I believe it was the package.
There was something like that where he's like, we can get the package that he stole and deliver it. And then he remembers seeing the kid, the little baby Yoda, and he's like, okay. And then he starts walking toward her, and I'm literally screaming at the TV. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing. I'm like, dude, she's gonna fucking kill you, man. If you've ever watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she's going to kill you.
And then he kills her. Like,
yeah,
I was stunned.
I clapped.
I couldn't believe it. Awesome. I felt really good about that character in that instance. Like, yes, first of all, what she's saying is right. If you want in with the Bounty Hunters Guild, as a bounty hunter, you take the best job with the best payout up front. And in my head, I'm like, that makes sense, except you're going against the Mandalorian.
Well, plus the way she put it, too. I mean, it was pretty much a no-brainer for him.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about it, it's like if he listened to anything she was saying, because she kept telling him, you take me in, you're going to get in. You take him in, you're going to be a legend.
Yeah.
It's like, you'd be stupid not to. So, but yeah, I didn't see it going that way where he actually blasted her.
Yeah, it made logical sense, and then he blasts her, and I was just like, okay, I'm seeing a character that I'm starting to kind of like. He's this kind of scum and villainy kind of character that I kind of dig.
Oh, yeah.
And then he takes off. Mandalorian finally gets back with the dewback, sees her dead, and immediately it clicks in his head. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And so the worst part is he has to ride a dewback all the way back, which is like a cow, basically. And so he has to just take this.
Cows are faster.
Okay, well, either way, he has to take a long way back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the kid's waiting in his ship with the child and Sigourney Weaver's old grandma. And as soon as the Mandalorian comes walking in, he's like, all right, that's it. You know, put your hands up, and it sends, her name's not Sigourney, I gotta stop doing that, Pelly, to go cuff him, and he has the flashbang, another one. And he, of course, he's the Mandalorian. He overtakes the situation, gets the baby back, kills the guy, and gets away. But then we get a flashback of fucking Fennec Shan's body, and this closes out the episode. And holy shit, you just hear the ching, ching, ching of feet, and you see the boots of and a cape dripping of something, and then it cuts off. But what do you think the people are thinking this is?
I have no idea, but man, I can't wait till Friday.
Fucking Boba Fett. So the rumor everywhere online is that is Boba Fett, and what they did was they did cut screens of Boba Fett walking out on Cloud platform when Vader was sitting at the end of the dining table, and they lured Han and Leia in, and Chewie, of Boba Fett stepping out from the corner, and it's the exact same sound as the walking person towards Fennec Shan's body. And there's the final episode is saying the Mandalorian will come face to face with an unexpected enemy, or you know, I can't remember what the exact word they use, but basically an unexpected enemy. And people are like suspecting, okay, well, it's got to be one of the bounty hunters from the scene in Empire Strikes Back where it has them all lined up. But what if it's the Mandalorian? I mean, what if it's Boba Fett? I mean, we know that in Aftermath, his armor was discovered. It's suggested that he survived, even though someone else took his armor.
Yeah.
What if he found that guy, took his armor back, and is trying to get back into the game and prove himself? He is the most.
What if it's that guy?
What if it's the guy that took his armor?
Yeah.
Could be. Could be. All I know is that Favreau really wanted to do a series about Boba Fett, and no one would let him, and so he did The Mandalorian instead. And so now we get an opportunity for a fuck. So over under. You want to make a bet? Like, what do you think the chances are of it being Boba Fett?
Fuck, I really don't know. That one's a hard one because it's like we keep being told he's dead, especially because they completely changed they made legends. I don't know. I think it would be the smart thing, and especially because I mean they're giving him and Filoni so much freedom.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that Filoni's a fan. And I mean, not just Filoni, but Favreau is a massive fan. And if he can't do a whole series about Boba Fett, well, how about we have him be the big bad in the end episode? And maybe it bleeds into the next season, maybe it doesn't, but every fan will lose their fucking mind. They already gave us a baby fucking Yoda.
Yeah.
Whoever would have thought that would happen?
That's true. I guess by that logic, I would say there's...
yeah. Okay. So,
and then if it actually is Boba Fett, we could finally see Boba Fett do something.
Oh,
because of course he's everybody's favorite character, but he does nothing in the films. Literally adds nothing to the story, other than looking cool as shit.
Yeah. But if it's not Boba Fett, let's say, who could it be? Is it another Mandalorian? Is it just another random bounty hunter? Like, what do you think?
See, I would imagine it's a bounty hunter. I mean, I really don't know who else it could be. I mean, maybe, fucking, oh my god, what the hell's his name? Carl Weathers.
Oh, right. Greer?
Greer.
Yeah. Grief Karga, right?
or whatever. Anyways, that guy. Maybe it's him because we know
it could be. Yeah,
we
but
know
he's like runs the guild, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's also got a personal vendetta against him.
That's true. He got shot.
He broke the cardinal rule, and then the motherfucker shot him.
Yep.
So I don't know. I could see it being him too.
It could be it. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, definitely.
This is like, it's one of those things where I feel like they're not going to say anything in the next episode, and they're probably not going to say anything in the episode after that. It's going to be the finale that they finally bring that character out, and they tie that suspense in. Oh, I'm excited. I can't
wait.
That's
pretty much my guess too, because I mean they know how to fucking cock tease you.
Mm-hmm.
Good at it.
They talked about Mos Espa in this episode. They talked about Mos Eisley in this episode. They brought us to Tatooine in this episode. We had a freaking dogfight in this episode. We got to see the Mos Eisley Cantina from episode 4 in this episode. I mean, we had callbacks to Han. I mean, it was just, this episode was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but just fan service and story. Like, of course, he has to stop somewhere. And he's like, oh, Tatooine. It means nothing to him, but to us, it means everything. Yeah. Like, it's just so goddamn cool. And to see them racing across the damn desert on their speeder bikes.
Oh, yeah. God, I love that.
Fuck, that was a great sequence. I was so goddamn excited. This whole episode was just 100% great for me. So how many banana stickers? Oh, well, first of all, before we rate this, what were your favorite parts of it?
I mean, shit, one of the biggest parts was definitely the speeder bikes going across the Dune Sea. Like, that's just so cool. I want to fucking do that.
I know. I know.
So good.
Yeah. I think for me, I think my favorite part had to be him walking into the Mos Eisley Cantina and me just going, oh shit! Oh shit! That's the cantina, babe! That's the cantina! I thought that was so cool. And I was like, wait a second, there's droids? Like, what the fuck happened to the old owner? Like, I want to know what happened to the original owner. Well, I don't know if he's original, but the last owner.
See, I think it would have been different for me if they would have had like the whole Han and Greedo thing going on.
Right.
Like, I was waiting for him to do that. Like,
really?
Just to be that back and forth. But yeah, it's still good.
That would have been really meta if they did that.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite part of this episode?
The ending, because it's making me die for it to be Friday. Yeah. Like, really, there wasn't anything about this episode I didn't like. Just all in all, a good story. Definitely leaves you wanting to know what else is going on. Introduces some fun characters.
Yeah, I really liked Peli Motto. I liked that she immediately took to taking care of the ship, even though she was talking shit about the Mandalorian. I love how she immediately started taking care of the child. You know, and just everyone's assuming, oh, this is your child. Like, what? You think he takes his helmet off and big old ears flop out? Like, he's just a grown-up version?
You don't know. Nobody knows that species.
I just think it's so funny. Everyone just immediately accepts, oh, no, yeah, this is your baby.
Well, if anybody knows Mandalorian culture, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, there aren't
that many. I feel like
no one
does. No one even has seen one, you know? It's just weird.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and okay. And my honorable mention, definitely the pit droids.
Dude.
Pit droids. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, just the tie-in with the prequels, seeing those little guys act. I was just like, oh, that's great. I love this. I'm 100% in. No complaints. This is a great episode. My biggest complaint, I think, was I didn't think the visuals of the dogfight were very solid. I think I'm spoiled by the films where they have this immense CGI budget. And so I didn't like it as much, but it's still great, and I still enjoyed it. It just wasn't my favorite. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a video game. Like, you can tell that's video game engines and stuff.
Yeah. But I don't care. It's still fun, and I love seeing an assassin put the Mandalorian on his back. I love seeing the assassin whip Toro's ass. And, I mean, it was just... Seeing those Tusken Raiders, it was, like, next-level type shit. Like, you knew a fan made this, wrote this script.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no fucking way any other Hollywood scriptwriter who was tasked to write a story would include that shit. They wouldn't fucking care.
Yeah, nobody had to do that, but Filoni's, well, he's fucking Filoni.
So great. So goddamn good. All right. So how many banana stickers would you give this bad boy?
Definitely the 4. maybe 3 3/4. Because it's not the best episode of the season,
right?
But it was pretty fucking good.
That's actually a really good point too, because I think I was overhyped about this particular episode because the last episode I thought was a little less. It was a little underwhelming compared to the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so this put me on this excited edge, plus all the nostalgic callbacks to locations and characters and stuff. I think that put it over the edge for me. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, 3 3/4 maybe banana stickers.
Yep,
I think
3 3/4.
It's great. It was wonderful. And that's really all we had to talk about. Is there anything else Star Wars this week that you that you heard or wanted to discuss?
No, that's it. It's that's a hard thing when we get to moments like this, because the Star Wars news starts to piddle down because there's the upcoming film and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's mostly just us sitting on our hands going, "Fuck, give us something." Well, like as much as I'm not excited for the movie, it's like fucking just drop it already.
Yeah. Well, it's only a couple weeks. I mean,
I know, we're close.
We're counting on our fingers and toes at this point.
That is true.
Yeah, William said that it was the nostalgia that did it for him in this episode as well. Mm. Great episode, Mandalorian. Yeah, I just can't wait for the next one.
Definitely.
I love it.
It just kills me that it's almost over.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
It's like it's so close to being done.
I think they did a really smart thing about releasing it every week.
Oh, definitely.
So that we had this sort of suspension and build-up and discussion. Because I feel like if they would have just dropped it all out, everyone would have been freaking out about Baby Yoda that first weekend, but then no one would be talking about it at all.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. I think that's great. So everything that they, in my opinion, are dropping the ball on Star Wars Resistance with, they have been picking it up and running with it in The Mandalorian. And I suspect that the final season or final episodes of the Clone Wars is going to be just as good. It's got to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that, and that's going to be the killer part. Is really, this month it's going to end the Skywalker saga. It's going to end the Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. I think Resistance goes into next month.
It's got to,
yeah, pretty sure. And it's like the end of February. That's when the Clone Wars starts. So there's going to be a little gap of, fuck, give us something. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we're going to be talking either out of excitement or depression about the Rise of Skywalker. So we'll have something to talk about, I'm sure.
That's true. That's true.
I hope it's good. Fuck, I hope it's
Me too.
Good.
I'm not holding my breath, but goddamn it, I hope I'm wrong about how it's going to turn out.
Hell yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this after the fact or listening after the fact if you subscribe via audio podcast. Of course, you can always tune in live, 7 p.m. every Sunday. This episode was a little off just because of life, but traditionally every Sunday, 7 p.m. And we just talk about Star Wars. And that's what we love doing. And we know you love hearing it. And we'd love to hear from you
Absolutely.
about these episodes specifically. If we're giving a review that you found something else exciting or we are just talking out of our asses about, call us on it. Let us know what you love about it. We love to hear from you in the chat room, in live show, or in the comments below. Let us know what you think. And of course, you can always send us your own I am a Scruffy Looking Nerf Herder videos by emailing theinfernalbrotherhood@gmail.com. Of course, there's also a phone number that you can send an audio recording to as well in the description of the video below. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Infernal Brotherhood of Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
That's my line. Pew pew! That's so fucking good.
I could do it hot, or I could do it cold.
What's up, Princess Mimi? Princess Mimi.